So I'm trying a new thing with the lighting and my background, which my office is in shambles still. We've been at this apartment for over a year. We're really making a concerted effort to get everything organized. I wanted to just film it here because this is just how life is. It's not always perfect. I want to be able to show the transformation of how things get buttoned up a little bit in here and on my desk. So I thought, why not? I also tried this new lighting situation, studio light. I might hate the way it looks when I'm editing, but if I don't try it, I'm just never gonna know. I also just got my brows retouched, so that's why they're super shiny. Because I have Aquaphor on them. I've been a little bit slacking off, or I just haven't been as consistent with the YouTube. I spent the last few weeks just really recharging after vacation and the last events I had in October, getting back into the swing of things because 2024 is coming up and doing a lot of reflection on 2023. So welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jane Yu and I'm a wedding and event planner. I am the co-owner of UNS Events, which I run with my partner and husband, John. I've been thinking a lot about what I'm going to talk about on this channel. I've been sort of weaving back and forth about things. I think I really just need to have a focus. What I'm really going to do is take you through my perspective through wedding planning and through the journey of being a wedding planning business owner, as well as information and tips on how to plan your own event. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you see, please hit the like button and subscribe the channel for more future content. All right, so it's mid-December. I thought a video about reflecting on 2023 and looking ahead to 2024 would be appropriate. And I was already doing that just myself. So I wanted to sort of talk a little bit about that. 2022 and 2023 kind of all blends together in my head because it's, you know, the couple of years post-pandemic. 2022 was a blur. It was the events industry just getting back into the swing of things. There were all these postponements from 2020 and 2021 that I felt like everyone was trying to catch up on, as well as even corporate events and branded events that were just really trying to get back on track. If you talk to anyone in the industry, 2022 was kind of insane. We were just trying to figure out how to stay afloat and kind of start over in LA. And we were really starting our business, I feel like, from scratch because we started in 2019. You know, 2020 was the pandemic, so for couple years we just really weren't even working. Fast forward to this year, 2023, we were able to take on more projects that we really liked and really focus on growing our business. Like 2022, I felt like we were just throwing like spaghetti at the wall and see what stuck. But this year, I felt like we were a little bit more intentional, a little bit more strategic about the business that we took on, and obviously trying to make money as well. Some wins that I just want to talk through. We were able to hit our financial goals, meaning we did set a goal of a gross income that we wanted to make all across the board. So, you know, gigs that we take as freelancing, like working with other companies, as well as our own wedding and event clients, and all of that together, we actually exceeded our goal. And so that felt really, really good. And because we hit our income goal, we were able to get a little better of a handle on our finances, which of course, it feels like a good accomplishment, and we still have a long ways to go. But just setting up plans for savings and retirement and knowing where our money is going, I think that really helped a lot in managing our spending. That I consider to be at the top of my list because, you know, finances are always like a point of stress, of course, for I'm sure everybody. A great feeling this year to get a better handle on our finances. I personally worked on weddings and events that I cared more about. In 2022, I was working on just anything that came my way because I was just desperate to get back in the game. But in 2023, I was able to say no to some inquiries and requests because, you know, it just wasn't on my alley, and that felt really good to be able to do and to be able to set those boundaries. Another thing is, even though I'm originally from LA, I spent most of my adult life on the East Coast, with college and living in New York for a long time. So I've kind of felt like I had to build a separate community in LA, both professionally and personally. I felt like I did make the effort this year to just connect with people, like-minded individuals. Making adult friendships is kind of weird, you know? It feels weird sometimes, and I feel like in LA, it's not the easiest to, you know, make friends or meet people because it's so spread out. Sometimes it feels like such a production to like meet up with anyone. I made a concerted effort to just build upon old friendships and new friendships as well. So I am really happy for that too. More on a personal note, although I guess this is sort of professional as well, I started my YouTube journey, which I've been thinking about for like 2 years. I wasn't as consistent as I wanted to be since August, but I started it. Going forward, I will be able to, or I want to be a little bit more consistent in 2024. We were able to travel a little bit more this year. Huge win for us. We love traveling. Obviously, traveling takes money as well. Getting a handle on our finances helped us take those trips. So everything was all kind of intertwined. We just took a few fun trips to New York, to Seattle, to Hawaii for our 5-year anniversary. So that was super fun and really great. Some challenges, generally speaking, just staying consistent, especially when you have your own business and operating as a 1 to 2 person team. We have 2 different services that we provide. So even though we have the business together, we're still kind of like siloed in what we do separately. Just really trying to figure out that partnership, ways to move forward cohesively. That's always a fun challenge to try and figure out year to year and day to day. Staying consistent for me is really tough sometimes because in the event business, there's like seasons for being busy. There's lulls sometimes. And typically for us, I've found that I'm really busy May, June, and then again like September, October, November. And then during that summer time, July, August, end of November to December, it's really a lot quieter. I would love to be able to use those lulls to still keep inching forward in professional and personal goals, but I find myself sometimes just letting go of all the stress that I've been sort of compiling during those really busy months. So I do want to just be a little bit more consistent with my time and obviously taking time off when I need it, but remembering that even 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day on a project that I don't want to forget about is really important. I went on a really long news hiatus because I just couldn't read the news and the state of the world because it just really worked me up and it just wasn't great for my mental health. I just couldn't be super productive on those days that I just had bad news hit me first thing in the morning. Since I've been sort of on a break, I've been just listening to the news a bit more because I think it is important to know what's going on around you. It's a way to figure out like how we can give back to the world and how I can give back to the world and make an impact in my own way. And it does keep me grounded. 2024 elections are coming up. I'm gonna be really strategic about how I intake that information because I don't want to be consumed all day, every day by it. And I just can't be because I obviously have to make a living and it's not just like clocking in at work. So that's something that was a challenge this year and I know is going to always be a challenge like just moving forward because once I start getting into that like black hole of thoughts, it's kind of a never-ending spiral and that's when I just tend to like not want to do anything and just watch TV and not do anything. So it's just about being a little bit more compartmentalizing and just balancing all of those things. Some projects that really excited me this year was a wedding I did in New York for our clients Merites and Judd. I did a behind the scenes video. If you want to take a look, I linked it in the comments. Just about things that happened during planning and during the actual event. That was one of my favorites to work on because it was just really unique and fun to work on with the client. And we just got along really well. So that obviously helps in the planning process. Another project that I worked on that was not a wedding is CultureCon, which is a conference for Black creatives. The flagship conference is in New York, held in October annually. I've worked on it in the past as a freelance producer sponsor with another company. But this past year, I was brought on the internal team to help facilitate the production of brand partners and sponsors. I wasn't actually producing them, but I, acted really as a consultant to the internal team as well as external agencies that were there to activate all of those brands. It's really, really grown in the past 6 or 7 years, and I love the team, and I was really grateful that they brought me on to be a part of their team internally. I worked at my first corporate conference. I worked with my friend's company. We produced a leadership conference for the global exec leadership team at a global company. It was held in Santa Monica. I had always wanted to work on a conference, and I think this was a great one to work on because it was so high level. The client relations was very manageable, and it was a little bit more straightforward than what I'm used to in doing experiential production. Working on the conference was great, and I love doing internal events because normally internal events I feel like really boost the morale of the employees, and it's really for moving company values forward or highlighting company values, and I really enjoy that part of it. Some lessons that I learned in 2023. Some I feel like are repeated lessons just year to year. But one of the things I really learned is really plugging into community, finding support when I need it, whether it's through friends or other small business owners or other planners or even John, just making sure to communicate that I need the support. And if you don't ask, you just never will get it. Incremental consistency is important. I don't have to spend hours every day working on something, but even a little bit a day obviously makes a difference. And I really feel like I started to implement that this year. That's something that I definitely want to see more of in myself in the coming year. I'm trying to be more mindful of what I do with my time and who I spend my time with. When I was younger, I was very much a quantity over quality friendships type of person. As I become older, I'm realizing obviously the quality is a lot more important and meaningful, and I've really started to learn the value of just cutting things out that just aren't serving me and not worth my time, and I don't have to feel bad for it. I don't have to be everything to everybody, and I think that's okay. I'm just continuing to learn a lot more about myself when it comes to relationships because it's just not super black and white. Learning to be happy with the relationships that I have and doubling down on relationships that really make me happy and serve me. I think I've really learned that lesson this year. So 2024, writing things down or looking ahead to what I need to do is hard for me sometimes because then you have to go and do it, right? And I think that's been largely the issue for me in the past is I have a lot of hopes and plans and then they just never pan out, but it's because I just never apply what I learned. In 2024, I don't want that to be the case. The one sort of big overarching thing that I want to really focus on and spend time on or work on my craft is YouTube. That checks off a lot of boxes for me. It's a personal goal. It's a professional one as well because I'm making content about the business. It is marketing too. It helps me to just talk about things to the camera, to you, to just kind of process like what I'm going through. It helps me in a lot of ways. It helps me build my Instagram content too. That's what I really want to focus on. And in the past, I just get really overwhelmed with the next 5 videos when I'm not even done with this one. I'm really trying to make a list, really trying not to move on until I finish whatever I'm doing with that for the one that I have to finish. Even if it takes a little bit longer, that's okay because ultimately it'll take me less time if I'm just focused. And I think that will make me really happy and feel fulfilled. The last video I posted was a month ago and I've honestly had time to post, but I just wasn't feeling motivated or inspired, but I am back and I have made a list and I hope to bring you really good content. The second thing is I want to be intentional and strategic as much as possible with all my actions, whether it's in the business or in my personal life. That includes fitness. I have been weight training or weightlifting for the past almost 3 years consistently. The past like few months, I just have been really just going through the motions. I don't really feel like I was tracking my growth, and I really don't feel like I was progressing too much. While I have time right now, really trying to focus on form and staying focused. John is my coach, has really been helping me understand that it's a journey and that when I have the opportunity to really push hard, I should do it. Yeah, just moving with intention and having a plan. It's okay if that plan doesn't always come to fruition. I think I'm scared to even make a plan sometimes just because I'm like, what if I don't do it? But I'm like, why does it even matter? Because it's better than not having a plan at all, right? So intention and strategy, that's what I'm trying to work on for 2024. I applied for a small business program, or a program for small business owners. It's like almost like a business extension course. I haven't officially been accepted, but I do have a final interview in January, and I'm really hoping that I get in. And I feel like it's going to really help build relationships in LA with other small business owners so we can help each other out and find ways to work together. Financial goals, hopefully we can make 15 to 20% more than this past year. Outside of weddings and social events, for me personally, I would love to fit in at least one corporate event that I'm not freelancing for. So I typically work as a freelance producer for other event production companies that are a bit more established and already have corporate clients. I would love to land at least one corporate client for UNS. I think that would be a really great way to just grow our business and to keep the income and wherever our money is coming from diversified. Because with weddings, it takes time to grow, obviously, but when people are spending personal money, it's a little bit up and down in terms of what they're willing to spend. Whereas corporate budgets are a little bit more robust. You can do a lot more with the money that they have. That's one of the reasons I like to do it. There's specific types of corporate events that I'd like to work on. My background is really in experiential marketing, which I don't really want to do that anymore for a variety of reasons. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a later video about what types of corporate events I'd love to work on and what I have worked on and my thoughts about them as well. John and I talk a lot about what our purpose is with the business. Our business and life purpose is pretty similar. Right now, it's in the vein of we want to help or inspire others to discover their own happiness. I think we're very much grounded in feeling fulfilled and living a life that we're not going to regret if we were to die like tomorrow, right? That comes with like not just working our asses off and making so much money, but really making decisions that are going to give us our peace and our balance. I want to continue tightening up that why and really conveying that to our potential customers and to our community. I think that's what is going to separate us from other businesses. As the year is closing, I wanted to just give you a prompt to just think about on your own if you want to do this as well. And there's just a few different steps that I took to make this video, so it might be helpful to you. Just reflecting on 2023, what were some of the highlights of the year? What were some of your wins? I'm sure you had many. There's a lot to be grateful for and a lot that I'm sure that you accomplished. Some lessons learned and challenges that you may have faced, because that just comes with living life, just comes with if you have your own business or are a freelancer, that just comes with the territory. Then lastly, just looking ahead to 2024, what you want to accomplish. How do you want the year to be different? How do you see the future for yourself? How are you really going to implement all of those things to be happy and to just live your best life? And I think that's really all that we're looking for. Thank you so much for watching this video and making it all the way to here if you are at the end. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you would like to see more content in the future, please hit that subscribe button as well. Thank you again and happy holidays.